good morning this morning. And I just have to say thank you for each and every last person that reached out to me about the commercial. That commercial is everywhere. And I want to also say that I appreciate the collaboration with Style Seat. I've been with Style Seat since 2012, and it has definitely been a ride. I have definitely seen them grow that company. And to think that that company started off with just book and that's it. No emails, no texts, no cash register, no I mean to really see that business grow was truly truly amazing, and I'm happy that I was a part of their first commercial ever. So that was kind of cool, and it was real full circle for me because everybody that knows me, if you don't know me, I am a model. I had modeled for 15, 20 years, and so that was totally full circle for me. So I was in good company that day that we shot that commercial. It was a great time, and I said all last year that last year was about collaborations, and if you couldn't figure out who you could collaborate with and make money with, and you was gonna have a problem last year. Last year was the year of collaborations, right? Quay, good morning, Rochelle. Yes, it was so good. Black Boss Power. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the DMs, all the calls, all the all the posts. It was so cool. It was so cool, and I appreciate y'all for real. But so today, Sunday, I was looking at, I was listening to a podcast with Sarah Jakes, right? And Sarah Jakes was talking about routines. She was like, routines, like, this is the year of getting out of that old routine, that thing that you always did. You always did it because it was just comfortable for you, And what would it look like if you changed your routine? Let me tell y'all a little story. You guys ever heard the story about the couple when they were cooking the ham? So this couple was cooking the ham, and the husband was about to cut the ends off of the ham. And so the wife said, "Why are you cutting the ends off the ham?" He said, "Because this is the way my mother always did it. My mother always cut the ends off the ham." She was like, but why did she cut the ends off the ham?" He said, "I don't know why she cut the ends off, but she always just cut the ends off the ham." So they called the mother, and he said, "Mom, why?" He said, "Mom, every time you made a ham, then you always cut the ends off." She said, "Yeah, I always cut the ends off." So he said, "Why did you cut the ends off?" And she said, "Oh, I cut the ends off so it could fit in the pot." It was no other reason other than that's what she always done, and she always did it that way for it to fit in her pot. Now, he's a grown man. He got pots in all kinds of sizes. So why can't he just put it in the pot that it fits in? Because he's used to that routine of cutting the edges off the ham before he cooks it, right? So then in that moment, what would it look like if you just prep the ham and put the ham in the pot that it fit in? I mean, think about our routines, and think about why we do things, and think about why we are so conditioned to do certain things because of the way we grew up. Right? But you got to think that time that you were living in that moment, be it a child, or be it your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, right? Now, me, I'm in my 50s. I have been allotted to change I have been able to change my routine. I don't have to do things the way my aunt did them. I don't have to do things the way my mother did them, because they were living in their means, doing what they could, and the routines that fit for what they had. Right? So here am I in 2022 right? And today, think about this. This is an angel day. This is an angel day. Today, no, is it the angel day? No, today is the first. Tomorrow's the angel day. Tomorrow's going to be 22222. So think about it, right? We live in this time where our meanings are different. Our perspectives are different. Our experiences have been different, you know? So what would it look like if you really got out the bed and made your bed up? What would it look like if you really cleaned out your junk drawer, right? What would it look like if you actually put gas in your car before your car ran out of gas? What would it look like? Because we stuck doing all this old shit because this is what a tradition that you have chosen to still live by. This is something that your grandparents brought into the family that you just don't want to break it. But guess what? I'm not telling you to break nothing that is serving you. If it is serving you, by all means, I'm not here to tell you not to do that. But let's think about those routine things that we do that are not serving us. And when I heard Sarah Jakes say that, you know, it made me think about a plethora of things. First thing was my work routine. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. All my life. Aubrey, Cynthia, I've been an entrepreneur all my life. And it just clicked in my head that I am the one who creates the schedule for myself. I am the one who creates the work schedule for myself. I am the one that's been overbooking myself. I am the one that's been overworking myself. I am the one. I've been the one in charge for a very, very long time. Right? But I had gotten conditioned to the routine that I set up for myself because at that time, in that moment, in my 20s and 30s, that routine was working for me. Obviously, it was working for me. Now, we're in 2022, and I am 30 years older. The routine is not working for me. So I changed the routine. Songbird, I changed the routine. Quay, I changed the routine. And some things are not that easy to change. You know, some things it's going to take proper preparation to change. Some routines are so embedded in us. Good morning, Chan Smith. Some routines are so embedded in us that we are so afraid to switch up the routine. But I'm telling you today that it is okay to switch up that routine that is not serving you. If it's not serving you to get up at 11, 12 o'clock, right? Because you're missing your whole morning. The whole morning is gone. People's at lunch at 12. If it's not serving you to be up at 12 o'clock, then you need to change your routine, sis. You need to change your routine, bruh. And just because that's the way your parents did it, don't make it the end all be all. Just because that's the way your sisters and them did it, that is not the end all be all. Just because that's the way you was doing it when you was 16, you 25, you 35, you 45, you 55. And the routine is just not working. So it's time for you to sit down and write it down and write it out and create a new routine. Have you guys ever, do you guys use Waze or maps in your phone? So I like to use Waze because it will take me different ways to get to the same place, right? It'll take me outside of the traffic, right? So say if I didn't use Waze and I'm just going the way, my routine way, but my routine way always got traffic, right? So then they got this great thing called Waze and all these apps that can basically weave me outside of the traffic and I'm getting to my destination faster. So think about life, right? Think if you get the Waze app of your life and you start taking different routes to get to these places that you want to be, right? Think about how much faster you'll get there. Think about how less stress you'll be under getting there. Think about how much you can think now because you're not honking your horn and having road rage about all the people on the street because you're trying to get somewhere, right? And you're trying to get somewhere and you only know one way to get there. You only know one way. And I'm going to tell y'all, you don't know what you don't know because you don't know what you don't know. Because you don't know you don't know. You get it? You don't know. Change the habit of being self. Well, the thing is that I think just for today, because when you use the word change, it makes people nervous. That word change makes people nervous, right? So we're going to reroute the routine that is not serving you. That word change really scares people. It really does. It throws people into a frenzy. It turns into an argument that you often don't even want to have. So we're not even going to say change. We're going to reroute, adjust, right, Cynthia? We're going to adjust the route. Like my aunt does not take the highway. She does not take the highway. So she takes the same route to work. She will go straight up Broad Street. Anybody know Richmond? Broad Street runs straight. It's a straight street. Take you all the way to another part of town. But it has lights. And it's slow to me. So when I drive with her, I get on the highway. And yes, I get there fast. I often get there fast. But that is a routine that is working for her, though. It serves her because she does not like all the cars on the highway. So now if you have a routine that is working for you, however, you are bored out of your freaking mind doing this same old, then it's time for you to reroute the routine. It's time for you to adjust it. It's time for you to make some adjustments to the routine. Because what happens when you get bored, crazy things starts happening. Weird things start to happen. So I am going to ask that you tweak it, that you tweak the routine, and you put yourself in a situation where these routines or these things that you're choosing to do are serving you. Because I don't want to keep on riding the same old route, messing up my tires, driving the same old route, messing up, basically everything, taking my time because this way is not working for me. And it hasn't been working for you for a while. That routine hasn't been working for a while. Route is the root word of routine, right? You have to adjust the route. Sometimes the route is not working. And it's constantly got you late. It's constantly got your mind in a frenzy. That routine is not serving you. It got you all over the place. And it constantly has you like that. So why? I mean, I'm just asking. It's between you and the phone. It's between you and the phone. I'm just asking. Why are we staying in the routine? Why? Because we ain't getting no younger. You know my girl, you know what my client told me, and it's sticking to me. It's sticking to me. And I hope that this helped you guys too. My client told me, and we both 50, and she said, Ro, you know what? We got about 30 good summers left. 30. Which means that we're going to be 80. About 30, give or take 30 good summers. Are you going to continue to take that same route, that same routine every summer? Because if you're looking at it like you only got 30, I've already been through 50 summers. Some of them good, some of them bad, some of them boring, some of them... So if you knew that you had about a good 30 summers left, what would you do to the routine? What would you do with all these routines? Good morning, Tracia. Good morning, Tracia. It's time. It's February. It's February already. Is the routine working? Good morning, Alonzo. It's February. Is the routine working? Because if the routine is not working, it's time to make some adjustments. That's what Sarah Jake said. That's the message of the day. This is Tough Tuesday. Everybody don't have everything right. Everybody is not la 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 la. Everybody finances ain't right. You know, everybody kids ain't acting right. Right? Everybody ain't living where they want to live. Everybody ain't got heat. Everybody don't got food. You know, it's Tough Tuesday for somebody. And I'm not here to shed no light on the bad things that are happening in your life. I'm just here to shed light on the things that you can adjust in your life. Because Instagram, is, you know, social media, Facebook, all that stuff is making life look so glamorous. You know, like none of us is having a tough day. You know, it's Tough Tuesday. What's happening? What's going on? And like my clients say, I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. I said, how you doing, Miss Odessa? She said, oh, my legs. Oh, this. Oh, that. She said, I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. I know that's right. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. Rosedale. Dale. Good morning this morning. So how are we going to adjust the routine? What are we going to do? Are we going to still think about it? If you got a good 30 summers left, you know, that's the way my client put it to me. She said, we got a good 30 summers. What are we going to do with these summers? How are we going to move with these summers? What are we going to do? What are we going to plan? Are we going to still sit back and not make the proper adjustments in our life? Are we going to still sit back and do what we did 50 summers ago that we're not even happy doing? Not serving you. We're going to still keep on doing that? Or reroute? You right. That same old routine, that same old tired shit. It's time to reroute. It's time to tweak the routine. It's time to get things popping. It's time to, you know, ride these wheels. These are like last days, man. I mean, we don't know how long this shit's gonna last. We don't know how long. We don't know. Like, we really don't. We really don't. And let's stop putting off for tomorrow for things that we can do today. Let's stop. Let's think about that story I told you earlier. I mean, for those who came in late, I just told a story about the couple making a ham, and the husband was about to cut the ends off of the ham. And so the wife said, why are you cutting the ends off the ham? He said, because that's what my mother always did. And I said, well, she said, well, why did she do that? He said, well, I don't know. Let's call her. So he said, Mom, why did you cut the ends off the ham? He said, oh, I only cut the ends off, baby, so they could fit in the pot. That's the only reason why she was cutting the ends off the ham, so it could fit in the pot. This is 2022. We got pots of all sizes. We can do things any way we want to do it. We can fit the ham in any kind of pot we want to. We got all kinds of pots, right? But you're going to throw away 2 perfectly good pieces on the sides of the ham because it's the routine of what your mother did, and you don't even know why she was doing it. She was only doing it so it could fit in the pot. That was the only reason why. So think about the things that we hold on to, things that we learn as a child, things that we learned in our 20s and 30s. Some of the stuff we learned is great things. Great things. They changed our lives. We live our lives by it. One of the things I learned in my 20s is when Patti LaBelle came out with her first cookbook. Her first cookbook before she got all healthy. That first cookbook taught me how to cook. That first cookbook got me married. That first cookbook fed my kids. That first cookbook had me popping, had me thinking I was Chef Boyardee. That first book had me, I could cook. And I follow those traditions today. I make my macaroni and cheese the same. I make my collard greens the same way. I make my stuff the same way. I make my stuffing the same way. I make my stuff the same way. I do. Can y'all hear me? Because when something happens with your phone, you know that it cuts off the sound. I did not know that. So can you guys hear me? Can I get a heart? Make a decision for you. Good. Yep. For your good, right. Can you guys hear me? It paused. Yes, you can hear me? Okay, so I guess that's a yes, you can hear me. Yeah. So yeah, and I am a advocate. It's back. Okay, cool. I am an advocate listener, and I started listening to podcasts. I started listening to books. I started listening to more because what happened was I was not a good listener. A routine for me was you would call me. You'd be like, "Hey, Rochelle, let me tell you about what happened at work. Let me tell you what this girl did at work." Before you could finish what you was saying, I would jump in, solve the problem, be at your job already, putting this, putting that, done bought this, and all you wanted to do was talk. I had to change that routine. That routine was not serving me. That routine was not a good thing for me, right? So I definitely had to adjust that. So now when people call me, I listen. Because a lot of times people are not calling for you to fix what it is that's going on. A lot of times people are just calling to vent. OMG, that's me cutting you off and all, right? Right? Cut the person completely off. They ain't asked you to pay nothing. They didn't ask you to come over. They didn't ask you to cook no food. They didn't ask you to drive them nowhere. They just called for you to listen to whatever it is that was going on in their life. That's all they called for. That's all they called you for. They didn't call you for nothing else. And you done jumped in there like Super Saver Ho. And you done fixed the hole, and that's not what they asked you for. Not what they asked you for. So what would it look like if your routine changed? If when people call you, you actually listen? Because that's all a lot of times they really want. That's all they really want a lot of times. My dad had to tell me that. That's all they really want. Is you got to stop doing that, bro. You gotta listen. I had a hard time just listening. Listening was the hardest freaking thing for me. Just listening, because I'm thinking that I need to react. Listening is a reaction. Listening is a reaction. So, I mean, it was profound to me. I felt like I wanted to share it on Tough Tuesday because a lot of us get in the groove of things. And now we 10 years in, 15 years in, we do the same thing. Whatever you do sometimes is what you do all the time. We're showing up the same way in our relationships, our romantic relationships. We're showing up that way with our friends. We're showing up that way with our family members, right? And just remember, what you do sometimes is what you do all the time. And just because you did it this way last week don't mean you got to do it this way this week. You know, people are changing every single day. Every single day. So get in the routine of asking your people, especially the people that you're living with and the people, you know, your husband, your kids, your sisters, your brother. How was your day? Because people are changing every day, and that's when you miss it. That's when you miss the important parts of relationships, right? We miss those important parts. It's kind of like when you have a new baby and you have to work and the baby is not walking yet. And one day you go to work, you're going to come back and your baby's going to be walking the same way. And you missed it because you weren't there. And that's how we do. That's how we show up in our relationships. All of our relationships, not just some of our relationships. Right? So Alonzo says, you're not only listening to the words, you must listen to the feelings. Right? Right. And you can't listen to the words and the feelings if you're talking, first of all. If you're talking. If the person called you to vent and you're talking, you can't listen to the words. You got to change the routine. And so what I was saying is that, you know, people change every single day. And if you don't communicate with them, and if you're not asking, you know, how was your day? How was it going? And actually listen, you're going to miss it. And now it's going to be 10, 15 years of you not communicating and listening because you're doing the same old routine and you don't even see this person changing. You don't even see they done changed their hair. They done lost weight. You know, they done changed their job. They done made all these different routines that they have adjusted and you didn't even notice it. Because you're so used to doing things the same way. And the same way is not working. It's not working for you, sis. It's not working for you, bro. If it's not working, let's adjust the routine. That's it. Adjust it. And if it's something that you don't want to cut out completely, adjust it. Adjust it. Don't get so stuck in these routines that you can't move and shake. It's no wiggle room. It's always wiggle room. It's always wiggle room. You choosing not to wiggle. You choosing not to. Like my dad always say, not making a choice is still a choice. You made a choice not to choose. So you still made a choice. We all got a choice. We all have choices. It's what we choose to do with the choices. And how we're going to choose to change. I don't want to say change. How we choose to adjust the routines. People don't like change. They like adjustments, but not change. So let's remove that word change from our vocabulary, especially when you're talking to somebody or listening to someone and you're listening to their feelings. And when you're listening to their feelings and they do ask for your input, don't use the word change. You can say adjustments. They would take it so much. It's a smoother blow when you say adjustments versus change. Because change throws people into a frenzy. Yeah. So that's the word. That's the word for today is get out of the routine. Get out of the routine. It's okay to try something different. It's okay to adjust the routine. It's okay. Nobody's holding you there. Nobody's holding you hostage. And if you feel like you're being held hostage, you definitely need to make some adjustments. Hey, Dee Dee. Good morning. This is awesome. Have a great morning. Going to work and going to listen better. Absolutely. Absolutely. And make the adjustments along the way. Make the adjustments along the way. Make the adjustments even going to work. Do something, adjust it a little bit. It will change your attitude for the whole day. It really, to make those proper adjustments, make those little tweaks. All right. Have a good day, Dee Dee. Have a good day, Alonzo. Loving Katina. Have a good day. Have a good day. Good morning this morning.